Hi, my name is Tori Peterson, a mobility manager at Northwest Regional Development Commission. For rural residents and housing communities dissatisfied with limited, unreliable transportation, our service is a community-driven partnership between housing and transportation providers that helps people live where they choose with dignity. Unlike traditional public transit that overlooks rural realities, we deliver dependable, tailored rides through strong local partnerships, creating a model that can be replicated in other rural areas. Think of it as the lifeline for rural housing communities. In rural areas, lack of transportation isn't just inconvenient, it's life limiting. Without rides, people lose independence, housing stability, and quality of life. Later, you'll meet Mary, a 72-year-old widow in Pennington County. Mary loves her home and wants to stay independent, but without reliable rides, this becomes difficult. Mary's experience reflects a much bigger reality. Carless rural individuals are twice as likely to stay home each day. Right now, older adults, people with disabilities, and low-income residents often have no affordable or flexible ride options. Public transit hours are limited with long lead times. Family and friends can't always help. Research shows that older adults who don't drive make 15% fewer doctor visits and 65% fewer social trips than those who do. And in rural Minnesota, nearly 4% of households do not have access to a vehicle. Our vision is that every rural resident has safe, reliable, on-demand transportation. We want to transform housing communities into launch pads for daily life, connecting residents to healthcare, jobs, and community, while reducing isolation and strengthening independence. The need is urgent. Minnesota's older adult population will double by 2030. 23% of Greater Minnesota residents report transportation as a barrier to accessing essentials. In Pennington County, over 15% of residents live with a disability, a group especially affected by mobility challenges. Without action, rural communities risk greater isolation, poorer health outcomes, and fewer opportunities. Earlier I mentioned Mary. Mary is a 72-year-old widow living in Pennington County. She loves her home and wants to stay independent. Her goals are simple: visiting her doctor, volunteering at her church, and staying connected with friends. But without reliable rides, those everyday goals become real challenges. She often has to cancel medical appointments, miss opportunities to give back, and decline social invitations. Instead of thriving, Mary is left waiting. Mary's story shows us what the statistics cannot. Transportation isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about protecting independence, dignity, and connection. And she represents thousands of rural Minnesotans facing the same daily barriers. What's missing is time and reliability. Buses stop running evenings and weekends, and friends or family can't always help. In 2022, 5.7% of U.S. adults reported that lack of reliable transportation prevented them from attending medical appointments, work, meetings, or obtaining daily necessities within the past year. This rate was notably higher in the West North Central region, which includes Minnesota, 7.5% compared to the national average of 5.7%. That's why we're launching Community Connections. We provide affordable, on-demand rides right from the residents' doorsteps through housing partnerships. Unlike traditional transit, our model is flexible, community-centered, and designed for rural realities. It blends local trust, housing partnerships, and volunteer drivers. For Mary, this means she can get to her doctor, attend church, and visit friends without depending on family. For residents like her, the value is clear: restored independence, reduced isolation, better health access, and stronger communities. Across Minnesota, housing-linked transportation pilots have shown strong results. Rural residents consistently rank transportation as a top unmet need. We've heard from local leaders and housing managers that this kind of service would directly improve resident independence and well-being. We've identified potential housing partners, started conversations with community leaders, and gathered support from regional stakeholders. Models like this are already proving successful in Greater Minnesota, giving us confidence that community connections will work here too. Our mission is simple: every rural resident deserves safe, dependable transportation because mobility is the foundation for opportunity. Our goal is to launch the pilot in Thief River Falls by fall of next year. We're seeking housing partners, community stakeholders, funders, and collaborators. With your support, we can restore independence for hundreds and eventually thousands of rural Minnesotans. Will you join us?